Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, we're breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as Bitcoin price stampedes to 99,500 hours after the record Bitcoin ETF outflow. We'll also be discussing Tether USDT pours 775 million into video sharing platform Rumble. We'll also be discussing Michael Saylor unveils the new Bitcoin framework to boost the U.S. leadership in crypto, as well as the Federal Reserve to own Bitcoin. Well, Senator Lummis proposes legislative update. I'll be breaking down for you. We'll also be discussing Max Keiser rejects Michael Saylor's stablecoin idea and champions the Bitcoin standard. Quoting Max here, Saylor's idea that the U.S. creates a 10 trillion stablecoin backed by Bitcoin is unlikely to happen because the U.S. is extremely restrictive about who gets to use the USD. We'll also be discussing breaking news, a big obviously rumor at this point that the UAE now holds $40 billion worth of Bitcoin as nation state FOMO has officially begun. There's also a rumor circulating they just literally purchased 300,000 Bitcoin. So you're not bullish enough. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more, in today's show. Welcome everyone to the live stream. It feels good to be back at our normal afternoon time. Happy stacking Saturday. Bitcoin back in the green, baby. Shout out everyone in the live chat. JV streaming live and in the flesh. We're live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. I will be streaming over the course of the next couple of hours, so make some noise. Shout out Barry BTZ. Greetings from Amsterdam, fam. Shout out Corey Bowden, waiting on today's news. JV, the best crypto news channel. Good job. Much appreciated, Corey. And guys, let me know if I'm loud, clear, and smooth. As you know, I just got back to Puerto Rico the other day. I was out and about in the mobile studio for the past week over in Florida, and today marks 3 weeks until I'll be in El Salvador in Bitcoin country, kicking it with Max, Stacy, Chandy, and the entire fam. So make some noise. Enjoy the sale. It won't last long. I know you have the opportunity to buy Bitcoin sub $100,000, so please do take advantage of it. We may never see another sub 100,000 Bitcoin ever again. And thank you guys in advance. You're going to notice the stream pinned at the top of the profile over on X. It's already blowing up, so respect. We got, it looks like 132 people here. Again, we're live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. I'm going to be streaming over the course of the next couple of hours. This is live and interactive, so let me know where you're tuned in from. Shout out our very own Oracle. We're live. Get in the chat with the fam, and let's go. A little proof of work. Thank you, JC Ice. And if you're not already following JC Ice, I couldn't recommend an account to follow more than hers. Make sure to follow her over on X and show our mods some love. Thank you, Amble, Marky Mark, and the rest of the guys commenting, and all comments, quotes, and reposts will get reposted, and I'll do my best to shout everyone out because I greatly appreciate the love and support. Shout out Diana Jones. Good afternoon, everyone. Good to have JV back at home. I know, we got a gong. That's the difference. I can't travel with the gong. Maybe I travel with a little triangle. That was my musical instrument in elementary school. Bing. Pretty simple. You can't mess it up. Shout out Bubba Frew, Minnesota in the building. Shout out D. Royce, Texas in the building. JB, there's rumors Germany holds 300,000 XRP, says Laser Cat. Right on. Shout out James Elsie. Hey family, putting up the tree. Merry Christmas. 'Tis the season. Watching from Santa Clara, California. Shout out Robert Daniel. Welcome to the live stream. Picked up some more of the biddy yesterday at 95. Well done. We did drop to like 92, and that was short-lived, and then we bumped up 5,000 where we're currently at, above 97 G's. Where in the U.S. are you? A beautiful island called Puerto Rico. It's a territory, and it doesn't require a passport to come visit. So if you've never been to the island, come check it out. But I am from Florida. I actually relocated my family to Puerto Rico in 2018 after the 2016-2017 bull run. And I've been here ever since, but I like to visit the fam over in Florida as often as I can. I'm at home and I'm watching the greatest show on the tube. Shout out DNA Noonan. Respect to all the mods and all the members of the channel. Greatly appreciated, family. Just do the sample of the gong on the Roadcaster. That's a genius idea. So when we're in El Salvador, we will absolutely have that sample of the gong. But there ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. So let's send Bitcoin to new all-time highs sooner than later. Let's say 111,000 in play. Let's make it happen this weekend. Wow. And I actually have the Roadcaster too close to the gong. It actually interfered. Pass interference. But anyways, that's a great idea, Oracle. Precisely what we'll do. Welcome from Central Florida to the Biddy Army. Shout out Florida Boy Survival. Dave says, I love Puerto Rico. I mean, what's not to love? Hi, cold day from Buffalo. That's right. We got the heat down here. So if you're freezing your ass off, you got to visit. Shout out Diana Jones. Appreciate the repost. She wrote the best live crypto news. Shout out Diana. And thank you, Charlene. Gradually, then suddenly. Amen. Just reposted you back, Charlene. Greatly appreciate it. Keep the comments flowing. We're going to hit you with that theme music. Shout out Chandy 10 Music, #1 Bitcoin music channel, hands down. Please put your hands down.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating it. I waited all day, maybe I need a life. But Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
Welcome everyone to the live stream. Another fantastical day in the markets. Bitcoin back in the green. Happy sat stacking Saturday. Lots to share with you as I always do. Shout out everyone just joining the live chat. And for those of you new and not familiar with the process, I stream live every day via a video podcast. We're live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. And when the stream ends, I then syndicate this out to all the podcasting platforms around the world. We are the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Several million downloads on the podcasting communities already thus far this year. We still got, what do we got? Another week and a half left before we put a bow on 2024. Hopefully we continue this bullish momentum and continue to enter price discovery, which is currently sitting just above 108,000. Matthew says, love your streams. Thanks, broski. Right back at you. Appreciate it. The UAE thing is no rumor. It's bigger than that. I'm with you on that, but we have to call it a rumor until like a UAE officially, does whatever that makes it official at that point. But most likely, the UAE and many Middle Eastern countries have been stacking the biddy probably all year, I would suspect. But I do have some new rumors that have surfaced to share with you guys, so stay tuned. And hopefully it's not just a rumor. That would be massive. Welcome, everyone. I'm actually visiting Puerto Rico January 8th. Small world. Now I'm going to be in freaking El Salvador January 10th, so you're going to miss me, Matt. But nonetheless, enjoy your trip out here in Puerto Rico. Best Bitcoin stream on the web. Thank you, Florida boy. Greatly appreciate that. But anyways, without further ado, if you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes and then go ahead and subscribe. Half of you watching aren't subscribed. What are you doing? Then hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications. That way you get notified each and every day when I go live. Today is pod 1855. I'm your host, JV. It's December 21st, 2024. Bitcoin's back in the green. Happy 420 broskies. Bitcoin up $420 on the day. The current all-time high we achieved a few days back is 108,200. That's currently price discovery, which is practically just a God candle away. But anyways, let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. You can see Bitcoin in the green, the broader market all in the red and correcting as the pretty little bitty going up. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. The current crypto market cap is sitting at a $3.33 trillion. The Bitcoin market cap just shy of $2 trillion at $1.933 trillion. We got $180 billion worth of the volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance back on the rise at 57.8%. Ether dominance back on the decline at 12.1%. Checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. We got Move, Hype, and Pengu. Let me know which alts, if any, you're bullish on for the bull. And checking out the crypto bubbles. And yes, Merry Christmas, 'tis the season. Let's first zoom in on the daily. Safe to say maybe 90 to 95% of the market correcting and in the red. Very few cryptos in the green today, minus the king. And zooming out on the monthly, the majority of the market, I'd say, in the green, maybe 60-40 overall. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index today, we're in greed at a 73, yesterday 74, last week an 83, and last month an 82. 2 in extreme greed. And checking out the time chain calendar, we literally have 174,252 blocks till the halving of 2028. And we're currently on block height 875,748. You can currently exchange one fiat monopoly dollar for 1,027 Satoshis. So stack them sats, fam. You already know. And again, welcome y'all just joining the live streams. Good to have everyone here. If the UAE confirms the Bitcoin price is too low, exactly. And it wouldn't make sense to really do an official announcement because then they're raising their own price to continue accumulating. I think the same goes for BlackRock. You know, I mean, Michael Saylor, they're probably doing everything in their power to keep the price low, to keep getting their position. You know, Michael Saylor wants to own 5% of the circulating supply. The U.S. government, if they follow what Cynthia Lummis proposes with the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Bill, they're going to control 5% of the circulating supply. BlackRock already has over 500,000 Bitcoin, but I bet you they want millions. So the space race, aka modern day Bitcoin hash wars, are in play. Christmas bubbles. That's right. And speaking of bubbles, this Spindrift cheers is for you. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, Merry Christmas, those of you just joining us. 'Tis the season. I can't believe we're only 4 days out. Christmas Eve is in 3 days. Will I be streaming on Christmas? Yeah. We will. We'll be celebrating the bitty Christmas, and hopefully Santa brings us a new all-time high. How cool would that be? Yeah, I can't forget Vanguard. Keep this in mind. 90% plus of the companies in the S&P 500 are primarily, the shareholders are Vanguard and BlackRock. Vanguard is the primary shareholder of Microstrategy, followed by BlackRock, and the same with Microsoft and all the other major companies. BlackRock literally owns everything. So it's kind of crazy. And hence they want their piece of the Bitcoin pie. And they're not going to slow down. If it was up to them, Larry Fink is probably praying the Bitcoin price crash and they can stack as many of the Bitcoin as possible, just like the rest of those gathering mass quantities of bitties. Christmas pod incoming. Amen. You already know. But look at that. We're about to retest 98. You know when I'm live, the market has our permission to pump. So pump it up, family. And speaking of pumping it up, this one's for you, JC.
Pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up, you've got to pump it up.
Please answer the cell phone. For those that don't know, that's JC Ice's ringtone.
Pump, 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 pump it up.
Just blaze. And thank you again, fam, for the repost, comments, and quotes over on X. Greatly appreciated. We now have 600 people on the stream. Again, we're live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. I will be streaming over the course of the next couple of hours. We got so much to share. So let's dive into today's technical analysis, aka astrology for the broskies. I'll also be pulling up some of the live charts, and we'll go from there. So here the headline reads, Bitcoin price stampedes to 99,500 hours after the record Bitcoin ETF outflow, which was yesterday, I believe. So here we go. Bitcoin neared 100,000 today after a monster Bitcoin price bounce delivered snap upside, as we can see here in the Bitcoin 1 hour chart. Data from TradingView followed Bitcoin as it gained 7,000 in less than 24 hours. Not too shabby. And after liquidating the leveraged long positions with a trip back to December lows near 92, finally offers some relief as the weekend began, reaching highs at 99.5. On Bitstamp, the absence of the institutional trading appeared to make little difference as the bulls pushed for a reclaim to six figures. The rebound came as buyers returned to the largest U.S. exchange, which is Coinbase, which had previously spawned the sell side pressure, quoting analysts here, Coinbase buying a lot since the lows, said Exit Pump. Now you can see Super Bro Bitcoin Daily with a monster hammer off the 50 moving average is outlined here in the chart. And on the hourly time frames, we eyed the potential breakout signal in the form of an inverse head and shoulders construction. As you can see here, a classic pattern that can mark a short-term, long-term low. Continuing trading account Dr. Magic described the scam breakdown signal from the Bitcoin RSI, which we know is the relative strength index. He exclaimed that this could have been driven artificially low, an event that preceded the previous periods of protracted Bitcoin price upside. I wonder also if it had anything to do with the government announcing a potential shutdown, as it creates a lot of uncertainty in the markets. I mean, the stock market in one day I saw lost $1.5 trillion, which is crazy. And of course, that impacts the crypto markets as well. Quoting the analyst here, there is a reason I am obsessed about this RSI scam breakdown that I've been posting for a while. It happened in every major leg up until the first local top. So is there manipulation going on? Probably. Now, daily RSI stood at 52 at that time, preserving the crucial midpoint of a 50. And as reported during the Bitcoin bull market, the RSI commonly holds above the overbought 70 level for extended periods. So Bitcoin returning near 100 Gs, which were only 2,000 shy of at the time of the live stream, appeared bittersweet for investors of the U.S. Bitcoin ETFs. December 20th, the ETFs logged net outflows of nearly 300 million, which we covered in yesterday's pod. Data from sources including the UK-based investment firm Farside shared. The largest of these, which is iBit, saw its largest net outflows to date on record of 72 million. Typically, there's like billions of inflows every day, but I have a strong feeling that there's going to be a tremendous amount of inflows on Monday. December 19th, meanwhile, saw the aggregate total outflow for the ETF products hit its own maximum of 671 million. And with that being shared, now let's pull up some of the live charts via TradingView. Via Coinbase, you should be able to see here on your screen as we're approaching 98,000, about to retest. You can see this is the 1 hour chart. We do have a target on screen sitting at $101,900. And zooming out from the hourly, we'll scope out the 4 hour. The 4 hour chart shows a rising wedge formation. We do have a bear target sitting at 80,800. I know some analysts were calling for that. I don't know how likely that is. I'm still leaning bullish, as I always am, just to keep it 100. But nonetheless, let me know your thoughts. And zooming out, we check out the daily chart. The daily chart also shows a rising wedge. You see the big red candles over the course of the past couple of days. Before that, we had consecutive green candles. And we do have a bear target as well, sitting at 76,700 on the daily chart. And zooming out from there, we'll scope out the 1 week. And we still have the cup and handle target, which has been in play for a long time, which is 124,000, which we could still potentially hit before the end of the year. But I want to know your thoughts regarding the 124K target. And you're going to notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive green weekly candle closes since the November Trump pump, since the election. We are forming a red candle, as you can see, but we have till tomorrow, maybe around 6 p.m. until we get the weekly close. So let's see if we can continue the momentum and go from there. And zooming out from the weekly, we take a quick look at the monthly chart. And as you can see, Moonvember was the biggest green candle close we've ever had on the monthly. It was roughly a $30,000 gain, practically 1,000 per day every day. And now we just lost a lot of those gains here just recently after tapping out at 108.2-ish in that ballpark. But we are gaining some momentum. As you can see, we're about to test 98,000 here any moment. So there you have it. Crypto fam, let me know where you feel the Bitcoin price action will likely end for the month and for the year of 2024. Holla. Laser Cat says next leg is 132 Gs. What happened at 2 a.m.? You tell me, Frank. What's going on at 2 a.m.? I was in bed. I was in the astral realms. You know what I mean? Astral traveling with Satoshi and Nip. So you tell me. Seen a lot of the FUD lately. Oh, the biddy might not have the 21 million cap. Yeah, that's what we call FUD. It's hard-coded. But yeah, I think BlackRock's, what if it doesn't stop and it just continues going forever and ever? It's not fiat. You're mixing it up with fiat. Fiat and Ethereum, they go forever and ever. Max supply, you need more. Gold, we need more. There's an infinite amount. There's an abundance. Bitcoin has that finite limited supply scarcity. And those in the know. That's why they're stacking like there ain't no tomorrow. You know what I mean? We're getting it back, no sweat for sure. 155 Gs, baby, says Mr. Corvette. Shout out Cynthia. Greatly appreciate your support. For those that don't know, according to my analytics on YouTube, 93% of our audience is broskies. So we only have 7% of the ladies, but the ladies who are here are incredible, leading the charge in crypto. So much respect to all the women here holding down, supporting the show. And as you'll notice, many of our moderators are the ladies because they're incredible. So respect. And we need to attract more ladies to the stream. Apparently, my handsome looks is not doing the trick. So spread the word. BlackRock needs Bitcoin to crash to buy much lower. Precisely. They want cheap biddies at the end of the day. Santa and the aliens are saying they might buy. Shout out to all the aliens. I don't know if we're referring to the illegals or the extraterrestrials, but shout out to both of them, including ET. ET phone home. Word. Shout out that fireman in the building. Shout out Roxy. We do got ladies here. You see that? Shout out all the crypto ladies, all the Bitcoin siskies, and all the broskies. Respect. King Bailiff sends holiday love to the Nippinator. Shout out to the king. And shout out to the new chairman of the SEC. Nippinator. Felt like we were going for it just for an alert, just like you're sleeping. But the alerts got me on my screen. Right on, Frank. Portugal in the building. Shout out, Portugal. You are the best. Thank you, Roxy. Greatly appreciate that. Shout out, Matt Bukele. Any relation to the Nayib Bukele? 125,000 pump once Trump is in office. Why so bearish? Let's just send it straight to the 420 for the broskies. 420 for the siskies as well. We all celebrate. You feel me? Or let's just go right to 1.1 million. Or let's just hit Max Keiser's target already. Let's stop playing the games. 2.2 million in play. Let's go. I love ladies too, JV. Can't wait to be jamming with them at the 100K. That's right. The mamacitas. There's plenty of them here in Puerto Rico. And we will be celebrating for the 100K party for sure. Welcome everyone joining us. Good to have y'all here. Shout out to the UK and the rest of the fam from all over the world. I'm going to check the X feed again. We already got over 800 people here. So greatly appreciate you guys reposting, sharing the stream and all that fun stuff. Violet says hello and happy winter solstice. Thank you, Violet. Just hearted and reposted you, and let me make sure I'm following you, and I am. Thank you for all your support, and welcome to the pod. Shout out the one and only Chandy 10 Music, #1 Bitcoin music channel. If you're not subscribed, you know what to do. And we're going to be sharing one of her new music videos here a little later, so stick around. I promise you it's fire. You feel me? But anyways, keep the comments flowing. I'm going to take a sip of the spin drift, and we shall continue with the news.
No plan B needed, I have the biddy. Bitcoin is my plan A, B, C, D, and E. There is no other plan for me.
There is a reason why I'm not a Bitcoin podcaster. Why is that reason, Johnny? Let us know. JB watching with the whole fam. We'll stick with plan B. Speaking of plan B, we're playing the track. Plan A, B, C, D, E. 150 by the end of 2024. Send it.
I am with the bit rip through the dips, bitty Bitcoin. It's my plan A, B, C, D, and E.
I'm plan BTC.
I'm team BTC. Through God, Satoshi educated me. Through God, Satoshi.
Brand new tweet from Max. I just love seeing things on the fly. 20 minutes ago, he wrote, the problem the U.S. faces creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve don't exist in El Salvador. In fact, the U.S.'s failed attempt at establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve will help 10x the El Salvador GDP to $300 billion and make El Salvador a Bitcoin superpower. And there you have it, coming directly from the high priest himself. Also, big boxing night tonight. Tyson Fury is fighting Usyk. This is their second time fighting. Their previous fight was a split decision. Usyk got it. Let me know who you think's going to win. I'm a big combat sports fan, so I'll be watching the boxing fight this evening. Let me know if any of you are going to be tuned in. So looking forward to that. JB, wear the hats again. Sorry. Yeah, if you want to get this particular hat, you got to go to my boy Sergio, bitcoincaps.net, his direct link. And this is the snapback new edition. There's some other great caps as well. I don't have them in front of me to show you, but you can just visit the website. This is my favorite one I've been rocking since I got it. I'll probably be rocking this one in El Salvador. Let me know if anyone's going to be in El Salvador with us in 3 weeks. Chandy's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Max is going to be there. Stacy's going to be there. All the Bitcoin OGs. You feel me? Subscribe for the daily. Thank you, Streamlabs. And happy birthday to Zoe. Respect. Be careful. I just deposited a coin a few days ago. They're asking for the KYC. I think every reputable exchange requires it because the government requires exchanges to collect KYC. If an exchange doesn't ask for the KYC, I'd be very skeptical if it's a real exchange and not a scam. Just speaking out loud, thinking out loud. You feel me? Thank you for the link, Oracle, and let him know JV sent you. He always sends me hats, so I do this to give back to Sergio for hooking it up. And he makes all the hats for, Bukele himself, Max Keiser, and all of them in El Salvador. So if you want to get it directly from the source, you go to bitcoincaps.net. Let them know I sent you. El Salvador is beautiful. Amen. The new Singapore, says Dave. That's what's up. Seems Saylor has been buying faster since leaving his closed-door meeting with Trump at the Biddy conference. Moon warning. Agreed. He's stacking like there ain't no tomorrow. I mean, he did announce they're going to purchase $42 billion worth of Bitcoin. I mean, that's pretty significant if you feel what I'm saying. The Monopoly one is fire. Yeah, cop yourself some hats. Great for Christmas season. Hey, JV and fam, shout out Scotland in the building. Shout out Kelvin Watson. Good to see you back, brother. I haven't recognized your name in a minute, but good to have you here with us. Bitcoin is about to retest 98 Gs. We got to get back above 100 Gs for tomorrow's weekly close. That would be a good target so we can break out and re-enter price discovery again. We're only a God candle away. But anyways, fam, keep the comments flowing. We still got a lot of the headlines to share. So let's dive into our next story of the day, shall we? Headline reads, Tether pours 775 million into Rumble. And shout out to the Rumble and to the Rumble fam. As you know, we stream live every day on X, Rumble, and YouTube. So yeah, Tether, the issuer of the world's largest stablecoin by market cap, just invested $750 million into the Rumble. And as you know, Tether deeply believes in the fundamental values of freedom of speech and financial freedom. Shout out to the Tether CEO, Paolo. Now, they say our strategic investment in Rumble greatly underscores Tether's focus in supporting tech and companies that empower humans, delivering independence and resilience to our society. Amen. He also said he was optimistic about the Rumble CEO, Chris, and his team have built and looks forward to collaborating on a shared vision. Tether and Rumble plan to collaborate on advertising, cloud, and crypto payments. And also, Chris recently made the announcement, the CEO of Rumble, that they now have Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So that's another win. Echoing a similar sentiment, Pavlovsky, who is Chris, said that he has never been more excited for the future and intends to keep pushing against the world's largest video sharing platform, YouTube. YouTube, look out. I'm coming for the monopolistic market share globally. Amen. And following the announcement, Rumble's share price surged 51%. Just like that. It pays to adopt the biddy because you have 100 million plus Bitcoiners like us who are going to promote you for adopting it. No brainer. Every company should be doing the same. Learn from them. So yeah, their stock reached $10.90. According to Google Finance. And on November 25th, Rumble confirmed plans to add Bitcoin to the balance sheet. All smart companies should follow in that footsteps using the Sailor put. The video sharing platform said its board of directors approved the strategy, allocating a portion of the company's excess cash reserves to the biddy at the company discretion and up to 20 million total. Pavlovsky teased the idea of adding Bitcoin to the balance sheet November 9th in a poll. And out of 43,000 votes, we had roughly 94% say yes. And I mean, why wouldn't they, unless they're just a hater? You feel me? But there you have it, yo. Shout out to the Rumble fam for always holding it down. We respect those that respect our First Amendment right of freedom of speech, because we all know the tube is heavily censored, unfortunately, by the lizard folk. Part of the reason we strike the gong, specifically to chase the Gary Genslers away. Fair play. But anyways, welcome, everyone. The U.S. can get the, what does that say? The Palu ID? The exchanges accept the Palu? I don't even know what the Palu means. That's new to me. Learned about it on the BitBoy crypto a few months ago. I've never heard of it. It's like we're living in alternative realities. El Salvador is beautiful. That's what's up. Yeah, I can't wait to visit. It's been on my bucket list at the very top since they adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. So I'm so excited to finally meet people like Max and Stacy and potentially Bukele and whoever else is going to be out there at the event. You feel me? Bitcoin, my plan A, B, C, D, E, element O, P, all the way to the Z. Precisely. What's the name of that song? I thought you'd never ask. It's plan A, B, C, D, E. And shout out to the Nipinator. Remember, he gave us the buy signal yesterday. And if you listen to Nip, you're already up $5,000. So, never a failed signal by the Nipinator. And you can find these tracks exclusive on Chandy's channel. And Chandy, if you're watching, always feel free to drop your links direct to the song or to the channel in the chat. But her username is Chandy10 Music. And it's the #1 Bitcoin music channel. It's our own genre. She really created out of thin air. There's no one else quite doing it like she does. She has roughly now 4 hours of exclusive Bitcoin music. And later we'll be sharing a new video, which is pretty fire. How does Max know the U.S. will not buy a reserve? Individual says he's smart. I mean, for him to recognize Bitcoin as at 25 cents as the currency of the resistance and the biggest story of the decade, it shows you he's kind of like a prophet, like Edgar Cayce or Nostradamus. Some people can just feel and see things before the rest of the masses. So if he is leaning towards that, he may be accurate, he may not. It's a prediction, but we shall soon find out, shall we? You feel me? Shout out DNA. Are you going to the plan B at the end of the month of January? What does that mean, going to the plan B? You got to let me know what that means. I am going to be at the Max and Stacy Invitational. In 3 weeks, I'll be in El Salvador. And I will be broadcasting via my mobile studio, just as I was broadcasting over in Florida for the past week. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I can bring you some insider secrets, you know what I mean, from within Bitcoin country. Shout out everyone joining us. I see we got already 1,000 people on the stream. That's what's up. JV, we welcome you in El Salvador. Be happy to meet you. Looking forward to seeing you there at the event. I will be there. It's going up forever, Laura. Amen. But anyways, keep the comments flowing.
She freed me through God. Satoshi changed me. Plan A, B, C, D, and E. Bitcoin's the only financial plan for me. Angels in the orange. Angels in the orange. Yes, I said.
Angels in the orange. Such as the Nippinator. He single-handedly is going to remove Gensler from the SEC January 20th. So this message is for you, Gary. If you're watching, you're fired. Go home, get your shine box before Nippinator chases you out of office. Just like he had to do Janet Yellen. And shout out Chappie. I greatly appreciate the sub, family. Welcome. But anyways, excuse me. Let's continue with the news. We got a lot to share. Here's the latest from the Giga Chad. Mikey Saylor. He unveils new Bitcoin framework to boost the U.S. leadership in crypto. That's right. So Saylor emphasizes that a well-structured digital asset policy could significantly strengthen the U.S. dollar. That's right. Mitigate national debt and empower millions of businesses. He believes that by establishing a clear and universally understood taxonomy of digital assets, the U.S. can foster innovation and create trillions of value. The Saylor framework categorizes digital assets into several key classes, including digital commodities, such as the Biddy, which are backed by their own digital power, and digital securities that represent ownership and equities and derivatives. The categories include digital currencies linked to fiat, also fungible digital tokens offering specific utility, unique NFTs, and digital assets tied to physical commodities like gold or oil. We all know gold is the poor man's Bitcoin. That one's for you, Peter Shifty. And to ensure the legitimacy of these assets, Saylor insists of a robust framework, defining the rights and responsibilities of all the market participants as essential. This system aims to establish a trustworthy environment where issuers have the right to create assets while ensuring a fair disclosure. Exchanges are responsible for the safeguarding of client assets, maintaining transparency, and the owners are empowered to manage their assets in compliance with the local laws. And central to the framework is the foundational principle that all participants must act ethically with civil and criminal accountability for their actions. Saylor also advocates for a regulatory approach that prioritizes efficiency and innovation over bureaucratic hurdles. He proposes standardized disclosures and industry-led compliance measures that enable exchanges to assist in data collection and publication, and by limiting compliance costs and streamlining the issuance process, he envisions rapid asset creation, potentially reducing timelines from months to mere days. This empowerment of the exchanges that facilitate integrated services for all the market participants aims to enhance the overall efficiency of digital asset transactions, fostering a competitive and innovative marketplace. But there you have it, yo. That's basically just what I wanted to touch upon there. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with the Giga Chad. Mikey Saylor. I mean, his company now controls roughly, I think it's like, what is it? 400,000 Bitcoin, like in that ballpark. I know BlackRock, obviously the largest right now. But guess what? Coinbase is the custodian of BlackRock. So theoretically, Coinbase owns most of the Bitcoin. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not your keys, not your coins, Larry Fink. Just saying. It's pouring down rain here in Seattle. What a surprise. Yeah, I hear it rains every day in Seattle. It's funny you mentioning the Shine Box. When I was a kid in the early 60s, I had one I used and charged 25 cents. That tells you how old I am. Just as old as Gary Gensler, I assume. Well, respect, Jerry, to all the people shining the shoes. It's all good. Respectable job. They actually have the shoe shine folks at the malls here at in Puerto Rico. Go to the mall. They'll have the shoe shine guy. I'm waiting to see Gensler there working. I'll give him an extra tip if I have to. Gold is jewelry. Bitcoin is the apex predator. That's right. I mean, precisely. I couldn't have said it better. Gold is jewelry, and that's about it. It maintains its value. I heard it costs roughly, whatever the amount of gold bars it took to purchase the average home in the United States 20 years ago is practically the same today. You can't say that for Bitcoin. because it used to cost hundreds of Bitcoin for the average size home in the United States. And fast forward to today, you can get a $500,000 house for 5 Bitcoin. It's crazy. That's because Bitcoin is demonetizing all assets and commodities in real time. That includes oil, gas or whatever, silver, precious metals, gold, the poor man's Bitcoin, and all that other stuff, fiat monopoly money, real estate. It was in the Bronx, New York, where I grew up. Well, shout out to the Bronx, the BX, holding it down. My family is from Brooklyn. Both my mom and dad were born in Brooklyn. I was actually born in Long Island. And my favorite rapper from the Bronx, may he rest in peace, was always Big Pun, who was actually Puerto Rican, but from the Bronx. One of my favorite rappers of all time. He had the tongue twisters. One of my favorite bars was, shout out to the Nippinator and giving us the next indicator, is like, dead in the middle of little Italy, little did we know that we riddles the middleman who didn't do diddly. You feel me? Vancouver Island in the building. Shout out Vancouver. Good to have you here.
Angels in the orange, I see angels in the cold storage. It's all in the orange, sunrise, sunset, hope alive. Bitcoin isn't a bet, you have been told, never forget. This is your chance to change the tides and make your own sunlight. Oranges grow in the glow of a new sunrise. Live orange, get
Let's go. But yeah, let's get above 98 G's here during the stream, so we can retest a hundo. Microstrategy is holding. Thank you for the clarifications. I know they just announced that big purchase. I didn't have the numbers in front of me, but they now have 439,000 Bitcoin as of December 16th, and probably buying more behind the scenes as I'm speaking. Never the Magic 420, by the way, or near the Magic. That's right. Shout out to Puff the Magic Dragon. He lives by the sea, next to Leviathan, as the legend has it. But anyways, keep the comments flowing, fam. But let's dive into our next feature story of the day, shall we? All right. So recently, Jay Powell was asked, will you guys buy Bitcoin? He's like, no, the Fed does not buy Bitcoin. And there's an interesting headline that caught my attention. It says, the Federal Reserve to own Bitcoin. Senator Lummis proposes the legislative update. So let's break down the latest from Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming, who outlined the proposal to grant the Fed the authority. That's right. Jay Powell said they can't because they don't have the authority to hold Bitcoin as part of the U.S. official reserves. She argued the approach could improve the country's long-term financial stability, strengthening the global role of the U.S. dollar, and provide a valuable hedge against the nation's ballooning national debt, which now surpasses $36 trillion. That's right. My proposal would have the U.S. purchase, she said, through other assets it already owns 200,000 Bitcoin a year for 5 years for a total of 1 million Bitcoin. That's Lummis's plan, which she reiterated. We would hold it for at least 20 years. And at the numbers that we project, that would accrue a fund that's worth $16 trillion. We want our federal government to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve that can help back the U.S. dollar, the world reserve currency, and then serve as a long-term saving account, thereby offsetting our national debt. Now, the senator's remarks directly confront the current stance of the Fed chairman, Jay Powell. At the latest FOMC meeting, he reiterated that the Fed restricts the institutions from owning it. Quoting him here, we're not allowed to own Bitcoin. The Fed Act says we can't own it, and we are not looking for a law change. He's the Fed's bitch, ultimately. That's the kind of thing for Congress to consider, but we are not looking for the law to change. Of course they're not. Bitcoin severs the banks of the heads of the central banking cartels, literally, and he works for them. Lummis acknowledged this legal roadblock, but remained determined to shift the conversation to Congress, precisely what she needs to do. She believes lawmakers need to give the central bank the authority to hold Bitcoin, quoting her here. I understand the Fed believes it doesn't have the legal authority to own Bitcoin. We need to give that to them. Preach. The Bitcoin U.S. already owns roughly 200,000 Bitcoin, but I heard 100,000 of that belongs to the Bitfinex folks that got robbed. Nonetheless, her proposal aligns with principles set forth in the Bitcoin Act of 2024, introduced earlier in the year. It seeks to establish the strategic Bitcoin reserve of the U.S. to enhance the national financial strategy. The act involves setting up secure Bitcoin storage facilities, purchasing 1 million Bitcoin over 5 years, and funding these purchases through existing financial reserves without increasing the taxpayer burden. In fact, they should just reduce or limit all capital gains tax on crypto, which I heard is a rumor coming from the Trump administration right now. Quoting her here, it is absolutely the right asset, she said, describing Bitcoin properties. It is digital gold. It's a finite source. Only 21 million Bitcoin will ever be mined. Even though it is slightly volatile, it's already volatile in an upward leaning direction. And so the goal here of holding it for 20 years is in recognition that on the short term, there is short-term volatility. In the long term, there's long-term growth that far exceeds the ability of the US dollar to keep up. Lummis cited historical growth trends to bolster her argument, and although Bitcoin has existed for only 15 years or 16 years, she views its long-term trajectory as overwhelmingly positive. While she acknowledged that the growth may slow from the early years, declining from 55% annual growth to maybe 45 to 35%, it would still, in her estimation, continue to grow, where the US dollar will continue to decline in value as the money printer continue to go purr. And quoting the Bitcoin Archive from this Senator Lummis interview she recently had, Senator Lummis says she wants to give the Fed the authority to own the Bitcoin. I want our federal government to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve, buying 200,000 Bitcoin a year for 5 years. Can I get an amen? And holding it for a minimal of 20 years. So respect to Senator Lummis and those proposing for the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Let me know if you think Trump will sign that bill. Holla. And if he does, we're looking at some very bullish targets for this cycle. JV's been calling 1.1 million. Max Keiser doubled over the top, 1.1 million times 2, which is 2.2 million. Let me know your thoughts on some of the bull targets. If we don't get the strategic Bitcoin reserve at a state or nation level, it's already a lock because the states are already applying for it. But if we don't, I'm still super based. 420 for the Siskis and the Broskis, especially for those who were born at Woodstock, such as our very own Oracle JC Ice. This one's for you. And with that being shared, I miss Bitcoin faucet. I know. Remember when Bitcoin would just flow from the faucets in the early days? Nobody wanted it. It's crazy how that works. You feel me? A bulwark like it, says Mal Hombre. What up, hombre? And welcome everyone to join the live. Based on the information given from someone in Congress, I should have my passport. They say it will happen. I just got to go to the hot springs to make the half of the thing. That's right. Shandy's going to be joining us in Bitcoin country, El Salvador. We're looking forward to that. He's Satoshi, and we all know it. Who are you referring to there? The Nippinator? We got to keep that a top secret. That's a national security threat. You can't reveal the identity of Satoshi. Scottie Pippen tried to do it with Michael Saylor on stage, and you saw Michael Saylor gave Scottie the evil eye. So some things were meant to be secret. You mean? Not all born at Woodstock, JV. I was 6 months old. Close enough. Close enough. My parents were at Woodstock, but I was not there. I wasn't conceived yet. Craziness. But anyways, fam, keep the comments flowing. We got 1,100 people on the live stream. We're streaming live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. Still got a lot of good news stories to share. And then towards the end of the stream, when we're done with the news, we'll flip it for an uncensored version of the pod exclusive on X and Rumble. And we'll be sharing a pretty badass music video. And the Oracle drove across the country on a motorcycle at 6 months old or a year old. That's crazy. Definitely a rare breed. End of December 2025, maybe the top. We'll soon find out. January 2017, Bitcoin 1,000 each by December 2017, or 20,000 each if the history says yes. Right on. Will the history say yes? The history is yet, or the future is yet to be determined.
C on boost your financial immune system and your life quality. Orange plan is plan A, B, C, D, and E. Orange skies, endless rise, freedom flies with open eyes.
Let's go. He is Satoshi, and we all know it. Keep a secret, please, family. Let's not reveal Satoshi. One person we know it's not is Fake Toshi. He just got a contempt order of court and is supposed to serve like 1.5 years in jail. I think the court ordered him to stop pretending to be Satoshi, and he continued to pretend to be Satoshi, and now he's a contempt of court. That was one of the headlines. We're not covering it today because who cares about Craig Wright, but I found that interesting. We're in a super cycle. Amen. Amen. 20x, I'm so ready. The Oracle absolutely. I watched HR around 6-7 years old, and 7 years later, I was puffing stuff. She went to MIT too. Word up. She knows ish, that is why. Elon is Satoshi. That's one person I'm 100% confident is not Satoshi, besides Fake Toshi. Think of it this way. Satoshi would never be promoting a meme coin, such as Doge, Goes against the ethos of what Satoshi created. It would make absolutely zero sense for Satoshi to promote a shitcoin. If it was Satoshi, you'd be able to buy a Tesla today with a Bitcoin, but he specifically removed that option. Why? Why is that? Why do you guys think? Can you guys think for yourselves? Why do you think Elon all of a sudden said, we're not accepting Bitcoin no more to buy Tesla, only Doge? Because he's Satoshi? Come on now. Come on now. If any human being we know genuinely is Satoshi, it would be Max Keiser. Just saying. Satoshi backwards is automaking. I showed TA's Tesla was going bankrupt in 2009. Yeah, I 100% disagree, but we're all entitled to our own opinion. Ahoy, Bitcoin Pirate crew. I've been busy being Santa. Well, shout out to Greg Santa. My day has not been wasted. I helped someone laugh today. That's what's up, Johnny. Okay, have it your way. If you can't think it through, but here's the beauty. We'll never know who Satoshi is, but we're looking at him right now. But we're all Satoshi, and that's the beauty. We're all Satoshi. Let's continue with the news. Next story of the day. We discussed Saylor. We discussed the Fed BTC. Here's the latest from the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. He rejects Michael Saylor's stablecoin idea and champions the Bitcoin standard. That's right. Max has recently commented on the proposal by Saylor for the U.S. to create a 10 trillion stablecoin pegged to Bitcoin, calling this idea not plausible given the restrictive policy of the U.S. dollar. Keiser framed the U.S. dollar as the ultimate proof of stake shitcoin. Amen. Emphasizing it derives its value from control and exclusion rather than openness and neutrality. Max, as we know, has offered a sharp critique of the global financial system, this time targeting the idea of a Bitcoin-backed U.S. stablecoin. That's right. Keiser dismissed the idea as unrealistic, citing the restrictive nature of the U.S. dollar policies. And if anyone knows the U.S. government, it's Max. He described the USD as the ultimate proof of stake shitcoin, arguing that its value stems from centralized control and exclusion, which is 100% accurate, rather than the transparency and neutrality championed by decentralized systems like Bitcoin. And reading Max's recent tweet out loud, and even tagged Saylor, respect. Saylor's idea that the U.S. creates a $10 trillion stablecoin backed by Bitcoin is unlikely to happen because the U.S. is extremely restrictive about who gets to use the U.S. dollar. Good point. The U.S. dollar is the ultimate proof of stake shitcoin, and the U.S. government is never going to open source the U.S. dollar and let her perceived enemies, such as Russia, Iran, and whistleblowers, etc., use it. The U.S. dollar is backed by violence. Bitcoin's backed by peace. President Bukele gets it. El Salvador is moving to a peaceful Bitcoin standard. The interim goal in El Salvador is to acquire another 20,000 BTC. And good point there. And let's continue with the story here. Keiser contrasted the U.S. dollar's foundation of force with Bitcoin's ethos of peace, referring to El Salvador's adoption of a Bitcoin standard under Bukele as the prime example of a peaceful financial revolution. That's right. Reaffirming its Bitcoin commitment with the powers to buy up to another 20,000 of the biddy, Keiser says El Salvador is leading the way. They had the first movers advantage. They're Bitcoin country and always will be because they were the first to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Max further asserted that the U.S. can't create a strategic Bitcoin reserve without collapsing the U.S. dollar and ultimately losing their world power. But El Salvador, on the other hand, is in a rare position to do so under Bukele. It has increased daily purchases, setting an ambitious short-term target, adding another 20,000 Bitcoin to the reserve. This bold strategy underlines El Salvador's commitment to the Bitcoin standard and rewriting its economic trajectory. Max focused mainly on the recent interview with CNBC, where Saylor laid out the plan for how the U.S. could leverage the incoming administration, Trump, to implement the digital asset framework that would cement the dollar as the premier digital currency. Saylor blasted the onerous U.S. stance regarding crypto and murky regulations, Gensler, forcing companies like Tether to issue dollar-backed stablecoins offshore. He envisioned U.S. banks one day issuing their own stablecoins and creating a multi-trillion-dollar global opportunity for the dollar. And even though he supports Trump's plan on the strategic Bitcoin reserve, Saylor explained that the U.S. issued digital dollars can tap into a $10 trillion global market, boosting demand for U.S. treasuries used to back those tokens. It would allow the U.S. to extend the dollar's dominance in the new digital economy. He further went on to explain how Russia, China, Africa, and South America already utilize stables such as Tether to access the dollars. So there you have it. Yo, let me know if you guys agree or disagree with the Giga Chat. And of course, with what Max Keiser and his feedback to all of that before we jump into our feature story of the day and discuss the UAE, allegedly, rumor has it, holding $40 billion worth of Bitcoin and recently making a 300,000 Bitcoin purchase. But I also forgot to share this tweet with you. I wanted to share one more from the high priest, and then we'll get to our next story and check comments. But yeah, El Salvador senior Bitcoin advisor Max says President Bukele has ramped up the daily Bitcoin buys with interim goal of acquiring 20,000 more of the biddies. So there you have it, yo. Happy Stack Satin Saturday. Let's freaking go. And welcome everyone to the live stream. It's good to see Bitcoin in the green as we continue to live the Bitcoin dream. And welcome everyone just joining us. Roughly 1,200 people here right now. I dig it. Let me check the X feed again. Again, we're streaming live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. Thank you, Marky Mark. There is no second best. Thanks for the reminder. Appreciate that.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura.
Nacho keys, nacho cheese, 100%. And that's a great reminder for those new to Bitcoin or crypto in general. Whatever you keep on the exchanges, you don't own. The exchange owns it because they control the private keys and they allow you to access it through a username and password. But if something were to happen, sayonara biddies, only properly self-custodied Bitcoin is unconfiscatable. Keep that in mind. I'll give you an example. What happened previous cycle? FTX became the second largest crypto exchange in the world, next to Binance. And what happened? They filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and everyone who kept their Bitcoin on the exchange using it as a storage got screwed. And they're not even giving people their Bitcoin back. They're giving you the US dollar equivalent at the time they filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which was at the very bottom of the market. So hypothetical, if you had one Bitcoin stored on the exchange, which was literally the second exchange as far as, volume in the world, it was sponsored by like Brady, Steph Curry, every major celebrity was an ambassador. It's like, how could this happen? Well, it happened. And instead of you getting your full Bitcoin back, you get 16,000, which is the bottom of the market in fiat. Kind of spit in the face is that. That's why we don't keep all of your crypto. There's no logical advantage to do so if you can just learn how to properly self-custody your crypto. So that's what I would encourage people to do. Look into properly self-custodying your Bitcoin using a private cold storage device. That would be the advantageous way to go. Del Reezy, appreciate you sub to the channel, fam. Respect. JV is the coolest crypto nader, the new chairman of the SEC. Give it up for the Nippinator. Remind me to tell you about the ass hat that sprayed. Oh, I saw a film. It was like taking raid and spraying all the produce. Hopefully that dude goes to jail. Totally not cool. As if they don't poison our food enough. Like we need customers poisoning our food on top of those distributing the food. No thanks. I hate that I don't have a group friend to meet up with and just talk for crypto for hours. Well, hopefully you can join us at the 100K Fiesta in Puerto Rico, which is going to be in February. Make sure you're in the Discord. We'll be announcing that probably within the next week. And you got to link up when there's events. The big Max and Stacy Invitational in Bitcoin Country is next month, literally in 3 weeks. So if you want to link up with fellow Bitcoiners, you attend the events. That's how we do it. I was just telling my husband, you do not keep your Bitcoin on the exchange. That's right. You only keep on the exchange what you're actively trading. If you're a trader, you got to keep your crypto on the exchange. You're trading it, right? What's the point of putting it in cold storage if the next day you're going to send it back to the exchange? I get that. But if you're using the exchange as a long-term custody solution, you're missing the whole ethos and the whole point of why Bitcoin was invented by Satoshi in the first place. You know what I mean? We don't need third-party risk. You feel me? He has been arrested. His name is Charles Smith. Well, stupid Charles Smith did stupid things. You play stupid games, you win stupid rewards, and now you're in prison. I mean, you think you're going to get away with spraying, deadly chemicals on produce publicly on your social media and not go to jail, you idiot. So let that be a lesson to any of the other hooligans thinking about doing the same. Getting a cold wallet for Christmas, treat yourself. Exactly. The perfect stocking stuffer. Trezor. There you go. And again, welcome everyone joining us. We're about to dive into our feature story of the day, which is a rumor at this point, but there is some validity to it. I mean, Max has been warning us all year, and I've been covering the stories that, the Middle East is buying up mass biddies, and now rumors are recirculating. So I'll share with you any insights that I have here shortly. I must find love. I need a lady friend, says Leash. Right on. Hope you find that love, family. Cold Wallet Friday. Oh, yeah, that's right. Usually around Christmas, they always have specials like 2 for 1, and it's already inexpensive. A wallet probably is between $50 to $100 on average, I would assume. And look at the Nippinator sending another message to the current chairman of the SEC. He's ultimately, when he cleans himself like this, licking his gonads, he's ultimately saying, Gary, you have unclean hands as the current chairman of the SEC. So thank you, Nip, for the clear signal sent to Gary. Again, very consistent, this little pup. So you got to respect it. Tangent Ring looks cool. Well, there you go. There's another great wallet recommendation from the Oracle called the Tangent Ring. Is it literally a ring you wear? When you say ring, let me know. I've seen some wallets that are literally as thin as a credit card, and you just put it in your wallet. I personally wouldn't be walking around with a, cold storage device, but to each their own. Some people like to rock it out like fashion. I saw Snoop Dogg one day. He had like a ledger with diamonds on it, which is probably the most retarded thing you can rock. But nonetheless, I don't judge. You got to do what you got to do. Just buy the Tangent card instead. People can see the ring and try to take it. Exactly. So if it's like a fashion statement, probably not the smartest thing to do. If it can be lost, probably not the smartest thing to do. You feel me? Yeah, it is a ring, JV. Right on. Right on. But anyways, fam, keep the comments flowing. Let's go. I'm going to take another sip of the spin drift, and we'll dive into our video story of the day. Discuss the rumors of circulating from the UAE. Only in Idaho, you see the Santa riding the horse. Well, shout out to the Idaho. Here the other day on the streets, me and my daughter saw some horses just in the streets as if they were cars. It's like, hey, only in Puerto Rico. And maybe, as you just mentioned, in Idaho. Just by the dips, Hodl Life Santa rally, I might be walking 900 miles, whatever it takes. And another message to Gensler, unclean hands. Mr. Gary G., chairman of the SEC. I want that ring and the other device. I have them, then the Trezor. Yeah, maybe if you just like the ring as a fashion statement, keep nothing on it. I don't know. You have to Google it. It's a cold wallet in the shape of the ring. So I take it as just a smart ring, just like you see the smart rings that could like know your pulse and all the bio data some people rock. You feel me?
Ledger lines, the world aligns, no middlemen, no more confines. Truth engraved in blocks of time, immutable, sublime, a full moon bright, calling to a better path, a better way. The code is law, no hands to sway or pay. Turn your brain.
And just for the record, I own no Bitcoin. I own no crypto. Nothing. And I like it that way. No plans of owning crypto. Have I once owned crypto? Maybe. Sure as hell don't own any now. And I'm very proud of that. Teach their own.
On, get your Bitcoin. Plan A, B, C, D, and E. Bitcoin's the only plan for me. Decentralized, no inflation, taking your gains. Work for prosperity.
Okay, I keep my Trezor inside me when I travel. What does that mean? In your butt? Where do you keep it inside? I'd love to know. My precious. One ring to control them all. Lord of the Rings. Do you own? I own nothing. I own nothing. I realize there's no advantage of owning anything. So whether or not my house has been paid off is irrelevant, but I own nothing. And I keep things that way. I don't even own Nip. Nip owns me. So I'm property of the Nippinator at this point. Put up the jams. Pump it up. Keep in mind, Bitcoin pirates. Bitcoin was created to circumvent the government fiat, central banks, and the market controlled. Hold fast, pirates. You shall richly be rewarded for your courage. Amen. Amen. But yeah, I discovered actually a long time ago that the goal is to own nothing. And I mean, if you like to control some things, much different than owning, I realized you get a certain status, you can only own so much before everyone takes it away from you. So why own something that another human being can take away from you via a lawsuit? I mean, they can't take what you don't own. You feel me? So that's kind of my logic. It's a lot more advantageous to own nothing, if you feel me. You know what I'm saying? Own nothing. Zero. Do I own this hat? Maybe. Maybe I'm borrowing it. Do I own this mic? Maybe I'm borrowing it. You know what I mean? Look at Alex Jones. You know what I mean? Some bullshit frivolous lawsuits for $3 billion. But if he doesn't own the mic, they can't take the studio. He's renting it. Anyways. Blockstream Jade, another recommended wallet. A lot of you guys recommend. I got to get that shirt that says property of the Nippinator. I know. It has actually a good ring to it. Ring on the finger, ring the gong, bang, bang, like the B-52. That makes sense. It isn't worth owning. Yeah, why own anything? Yeah, I mean, people that brag about what they own, it's like, I feel it's like the ego. We got to kind of, nothing wrong with ego because we all have it. It makes us human. But at the same time, if we can destroy the ego, you destroy all the attack vectors from all the lizard folk that are going to try to take advantage of you. And there's plenty of them out there. Yeah, I mean, ask Gary Gensler. But I digress. Let's continue with our feature story of the day, shall we? Let me get one more sip of the Spindrift.
Instead of sweating for them and buy Bitcoin, chains broken, global economy, global ledger, global chance for everyone. Plan B, there's no need. This is the seed that breaks the greed. This is the plan that works for you and me.
Let's go. Now for our feature story of the day, let's break this baby down. Rumors are circulating that the UAE now holds $40 billion worth of Bitcoin as nation state FOMO has begun, and probably has begun a while back. Also, let's not forget that just recently there was the big Bitcoin conference, I think maybe last week or the week prior, over in Abu Dhabi. Trump Jr., I guess it was Eric Trump, actually gave one of the best speeches at the event and confirmed that they're going to be adopting a strategic Bitcoin reserve and how bullish him and his family truly is about Bitcoin. And you already know I've been leaking insider information from Max Keiser all year, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. But this is a brand new tweet from Vivek, who I respect, who wrote rumors, and bless you, Nippinator, rumors that the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, now holds $40 billion worth of the Bitcoin as the nation state FOMO has begun. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that particular sentiment. Someone wrote here, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, I expect most of the Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds to be heavily invested, and I agree with that sentiment. Also, we have Lark Davis. Shout out Lark. He says rumors are circulating the UAE just purchased 300,000 of the Bitcoin. If that turns out to be true, nobody is bullish enough. Let's consider how much money is out there in the Middle East. We're talking all that oil money. And he wrote here, Bitfinex 2025 market outlook. And shout out Lark Davis. I remember when I first got to crypto, he used to refer to himself as the Crypto Lark. And I used to follow him, and he always has some good content, so respect. But anyways, I also wanted to share this because this is quoting Max Keiser. We've been leaking this all year. He says, the speculative attack is just getting started. Saylor, Bukele, and the Saudis are all in. 220,000 Bitcoin in play, and so is 1 million. And if you've been paying attention to the podcast, Max Keiser recently increased his Bitcoin prediction this cycle by a factor of 10x to 2.2 million. But who started breaking this story first? Your boy, Max Keiser, and I've been reporting it. So this was back on March 10th. And I didn't just announce it like one time. We started, they had the Saudis meeting with Bukele. There's been a lot of inside information. So I'm just going to read you some of these trending stories that I shared previously. Max Keiser predicts 300 trillion purchasing power moving into Bitcoin, sending the price 150x to 10.5 million per coin. Quoting Saylor, Bitcoin is going to continue to progress to 1 million a coin, 2 million a coin, 5 million a coin, 10 million a coin. Bitcoin price to reach 10 million per this date from Fundstrat. Shout out Thomas Lee. Quoting Max again, and this was from December of last year. The Saudis will make Michael Saylor look like a peanut. A 500 Oh my God, how many zeros is that? I think that's $500 billion buy order triggering the God candles, already a done deal. And for Max to say that, you already know he has some insights. He doesn't just make stuff up out of thin air. That's why he is the high priest. He also said the implied hash adjusted price for Bitcoin is over 400,000. That was back in December of 2023, and the hash rate only just continues to hit new all-time highs. Another quote from the high priest right here. These two are teaming up to make Larry Fink, BlackRock, and Saylor look like peanuts, referring to the Middle East here, with a buy order of 1 million Bitcoin, making a $100,000 God candle. Also, there was news Russia to build a Bitcoin mining hub in Ethiopia, Africa, which I covered last year in December. Also, quoting Max, Russia's getting deeper into Bitcoin, as we have been reporting would happen for 5 years. And that was around the time the news Russia, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Iran will start doing deals in Bitcoin. Qatar knows this and is pulling the trigger on a huge Bitcoin buy for their sovereign wealth fund. Remember the Qatar rumors? Again, this all goes back to the Middle East. So I'm just showing you some of the trending stories I did share. Back in January, Qatar and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia may be making a Bitcoin announcement next week regarding a major 1 million Bitcoin buy order. So the $1 million question becomes, when Max was reporting this and I was reporting it on the pod, were they buying behind the scenes? You let me know. And then on January 1st, BRICS officially doubled overnight, where the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Egypt, and Iran are officially members of the BRICS. The Saudi 1 million Bitcoin buy and God candles a done deal, quoting Max Keiser, of course, there. And I mean, I can go on and on. Bitcoin will catch gold, 750,000 is a done deal, 220,000 in play. My upper target for the cycle was raised to 750,000. That was back on March 11th. There's some proof of work. And again, he just recently upped that target to 2.2 million, especially with a strategic Bitcoin reserve. He says the speculative attack that Saylor and Bukele are making against the US dollar and all fiat money using Bitcoin that moves 300 trillion of purchasing power into the Bitcoin is 150x move, 70,000 an example, 10.5 million per Bitcoin. And again, I'll maybe read a couple of more for you. And we'll go from there and we'll discuss this, shall we? But yeah, I mean, the BRICS news, BRICS continues with their de-dollarization movement. And you already know Bitcoin will catch gold. We know the gold market cap is currently 17 trillion. Bitcoin market cap is just shy of $2 trillion. And when we flip gold, game on. You know what I mean? Also update what I heard 9 months ago and reported on is happening. The largest oil company in the world, Aramco, Saudi Aramco, is doing a Michael Saylor and putting billions into Bitcoin. The FOMO is real. And I'll just stop there because there's endless stories, I mean, right in alignment with these rumors. But I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you think they'll come out, make the big announcement, or do you just think they'll continue stacking on the low? Do you think it's a bunch of bullshit, or do you think there's credibility there? Anything Max says repetitively, I give massive weight to, because he's the high priest. He's been preaching about Bitcoin since it was a quarter. So you got to respect that. And with that being shared, welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream. I'm going to do my best to read as many comments out loud as I can. There are about 400,000 Bitcoin over the counter and another 2.4 million held by all the Bitcoin exchanges at the current accumulation rate. The entire available supply of the Bitcoin is consumed in 35 weeks. Supply shock, that is right, and that's pretty accurate. The lowest amount of Bitcoin available on the exchanges right now. And what happens when there is very limited Bitcoin for sale and there's mass demand, such as the institutional FOMO, nation state FOMO, state adoption FOMO, sovereign wealth fund, pension fund FOMO, pretty little bitty going up. And shout out to Chandy. That's where I actually got that rhyme. Pretty little bitty going up. It comes from one of the tracks, and I like that. I say it a lot now, I realize. Pretty little bitty going up. Because it's a pretty little bitty after all. But anyways, welcome everyone to the live stream. I have Fury for the win for the trilogy. I hope Tyson wins for the trilogy as well. He looks like he got his game face on. I mean, I can't say anything down about Usyk because it's going to be a great fight. But I do think Tyson has the power to take him out early, especially with the extra 50 pounds he bulked up. I think he's weighing in at 50 pounds more than Usyk, which is incredible, I mean, for a heavyweight fight. They will stack on the low, letting the market be spoofed for as long as possible. I agree. It wouldn't be advantageous to make a big announcement because then they're just going to pay more as they continue to accumulate. And you got to remember, secretly, I think the Bitcoin hash wars, which, Max Keiser gets all the credit for coining that phrase, has begun a long time ago. And especially now that they know that Trump is going to be, or at least he's openly speaking about adopting the strategic Bitcoin reserve, stockpiling the Bitcoin, making the United States, the Bitcoin mining hub of the world. Other countries are probably stacking the sats because they don't want to get left behind. They're trying to front run each other. This is the game theory we've been preaching for a very long time. But anyways, fam, here's what we're going to do. Over 300 people on the YouTube. Much respect. Greatly appreciate all the support. We've been streaming for the past hour and 10 minutes. We're going to end the YouTube stream and continue with the uncensored version of the pod exclusive on X and Rumble. So the YouTube stream is about to come to an end. If you want to continue for the uncensored version of the podcast, which I encourage you to do as we're going to continue this roughly for another hour, head on over to the Rumble. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, and let's get ready to rumble, shall we?
We don't have to work for the mass men, don't you see? Bitcoin changes the past, future, writing a new...
And mods, let me know when the YouTube stream is officially